Norman Vaughn said, "Dream big and dare to fail."
Hello everyone and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer. What we are going to do today is I am going to show you what is in my everyday makeup drawer for the month of April. Now I am doing this a little bit different than I did last month. I'm going to actually show you all the products individually instead of doing you're going to be seeing my lovely face instead of seeing inside the drawer more. But I'll be pulling out like a little basket at a time. But first I thought I would share with you some items that I am putting up instead of keeping it in the drawer. Now I'm not saying that I'm getting rid of these items, I'm saying that I'm putting them away and kind of rotating other stuff in just so that I am using more of my collection, because it's easy to get stuck in a rut and use the same thing all the time. And there are a few products I believe in that little thing in my drawer that are just absolute favorites. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not putting it up for one reason or another, whether it's a project empties or whatever. But still, we'll jump in here and get started with the items that I am putting away first. And I am actually going to be putting them away as I show them to you. This first item is the L'Oreal Magic Skin Beautifier BB Cream, and I'm in the shade Medium. Now, this right here is a decent product for under makeup or worn alone. It is what I'm wearing pretty much all over, plus the e.l.f. HD Under Eye Concealer. I do have that on, and the Coty Airspun Powder. As well as the Rimmel contour or sculpting palette. I do have that on as well. But I mean, that's basically what's on my face. That's it. Besides the eyes, at least. Now I'm putting that up just because I do have other BB creams that I want to try to use more. And then I am putting up the sculpting palette by Rimmel. And I also have a primer here. This is the e.l.f. Blemish Control Primer. I just wasn't really impressed. I mean, it is a decent primer, don't get me wrong. But I've got other primers that seem to do more for me than this did. So I'm putting that up. And then I've got the CoverGirl Healthy Vitalist, or Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. I thought it was just time to move this out and move something else in for a little bit. So, I had a hair flying in my face there. But, different things need to be rotated out from time to time. So this right here is another thing. I was not impressed with this anyway. It is the Luxury Banana Powder by Makeup Revolution. Or Luxury Baking Powder in the shade Banana, pardon me. That's what this is. And I just wasn't really overwhelmed. It didn't blow my socks off type thing, so that's gonna go. Then a couple of these other items, they're just because I'm trying to rotate other stuff in. Like the Vivid Baked Highlight in Radiant Lights by Makeup Revolution. Now this is a beautiful, beautiful highlight. I mean, if you can see that. It's a real cool toned highlight. I mean, real pretty highlight. But I've just got other highlights I'm wanting to use more, and so I pulled that out for the time being. And then I've also pulled out the e.l.f. blush in Bright Pink. I do have a lot of blushes that I am working on, or like 2 or 3, I think, 2, that I'm working on for Project Pan, so I want to pull out some of my blushes that I have been reaching for more than my Project Pan items. So, then I have the Prime and Stay powder by e.l.f. The blush by e.l.f. that I just mentioned and this one are both $2 items, I believe. So, I am planning to do a face-off between this and the L'Oreal True Match to see which does better. But, as far as the everyday drawer goes, it's going back into, the thing. And then this is the CoverGirl's Cheeker Blush. I believe this is in Rose Silk. Putting that up for the time being. Alright, then we're going to move on to actual eye products that I'm pulling out. Now, there is one other foundation item, rather, that is being pulled, but that is because it's an empties item, and the project empties. So, if you have seen the previous project empties video, as well as my last month's drawer, comment down below and let me know what you think it might be. So, but that is something that is going to go. So, you can pause this video and comment down below and let me know what your guess is. So, okay, now we'll move on to the eye area here. And this right here is going to go. It is the Wet n Wild Rose in the Air palette. It's being put up. I loved this palette. It made it into my favorites, but still, I've got another palette that I really do want to work with more and see what my thoughts are on it. I've got a lot of eye palettes that I try to play with, and sometimes I get stuck using one just because it's convenient, because I love the colors, because whatever. But I'm trying to be, you know, more versatile, I guess. And then I've got the e.l.f. brow and liner duo here. Well, it's brow and liner something. But it's a little pot one that you can do for your eyebrows or liner, either one. I like it, but I'm going ahead and putting it up just because I wasn't reaching for it as much. I was reaching more for brow pencil than I was anything. And if you want to see what my favorite pencil was, you can check out my favorites, and you can see what my favorite pencil is. And then this here is Amber Rush by L'Oreal. That's just become too convenient, so I'm putting it up just so that I can force myself to reach for something else for a little while. Because that's just an easy one and done, don't have to think about it, do it and go type of thing. But, you know, it's time to grow and spread my wings and fly. Then I'm putting up the Glam Metal palette by Crown Pro. I got this in a recent subscription box. And then this here, it's crap. I gotta say that. It really is. To me, it's not pigmented. It's just not, you know, it might look pretty in swatches, but, you know, like that purple, for the color it is so soft. Maybe these are just too soft. You know, that's the purple. Yeah, but it doesn't do that well on the eyes, and they're so powdery. But this is the City Color Matte Eyeshadow Palette. I used this in my recent Makeup Playtime 2, just because I was trying to use something different. And then this here is the Shady Slim Brow Pencil. I'm sure y'all have seen me use this quite a bit recently. So I thought, go ahead and put that up too. Just for now. I ain't saying it's going for good. Just for now. Then I'm going to put up this NYX Dark Circle Concealer. Just because I have a lot of Maybelline Instant Age Rewind items that I'm trying my best to completely use up. So I'm putting those up for now. And then this here is the e.l.f. primer. That is going up just because, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it anymore. I have other ones that I do like even better. And then this here is the Flawless Finish Eyeshadow Palette by e.l.f. Looks like that right there. It's in Golden Goddess. You know, it's an okay palette, but just I didn't reach for it nearly as much as what I should have, probably. So, you know, go ahead and put that one up too. And then this here is the ColorMates Brow Powder. Right here, it has the little brush with it in 2 different shades. This came from the Dollar Tree, by the way. Pretty good stuff, but I just didn't find I was reaching for powders that much. So I thought, Just put it away, Jen. Just put it away. This is the Color Contour Lip Palette. I'm putting this up just because I have used this quite a bit recently. But I thought, just put it in the drawer, because I can easily get to it in the drawer still. So, in the actual drawers here, I'm going to go with what's sitting in front first. This right here is the BoxyCharm Pure palette. Now this I recently did an unboxing with. Unfortunately I can't show it that well without blinding y'all. But that right there is what it looks like. So, that's in here. And then, honestly, I haven't been filming a lot, you know, or I film a crap ton at one time and then don't film for a while again. But this right here is the Meet Matte Nude palette. Yeah, Meet Matte Nude. It is a knockoff version from Wish that I got a long time ago. And I do mean a long, long time ago. But, you know, it is a decent palette, but I just didn't reach for it. I plan on doing a tutorial using that, and I just never got around to it because I hadn't filmed a whole lot. This right here, this first, whoops, basket, I'm going to pull out little baskets to show you here. You know, and I've made a mess in my thing. But this right here is the first little thing. I use this type of container for my storage just because they are a lot easier if I do want to reorganize, reshuffle, whatever. You know, I can easily grab this here and do it. I have the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. I also have the AOA Studio BB Cream, just because it's a $1 item, you know, it really is a pretty decent BB cream. Then I have the Maybelline Instant Age Rewinds. I got a couple of them in here, I believe. But this one here, I think this one's in honey. But, got that one. Then I've also got the Found BB Cream, right here. During the springtime especially, I tend to use more BB creams, because, you know, I don't put on a whole lot of makeup. I'm going outside some and tanning. I know that's not good for you, but I still do it. So I do that, and just a BB cream, especially with SPF, really is a good thing. I don't believe that either one of those have SPF, though. And then this here is the e.l.f. I believe it's the Complete Cover Concealer. Unfortunately, it's hard to see what's on there on the lid, just because of e.l.f. does not make things accessible to the visually impaired at all. But I know it's in the shade medium. Yeah, and that's actually for, I think this was a $2 item. For a $2 concealer, it's not bad. It's actually really creamy. And then the other Instant Age Rewinds I have it in Neutralizer. I haven't made a huge dent in that since my thing. And then I have it in Brightener. So, I know it might be silly to have that many things in there. Oh, and one thing I am pulling out too is the NYX HD concealer. I thought that I already pulled that out, but apparently I didn't. And then this here is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Foundation in 220. Now that's in here now. And then I also have the Rimmel Stay Matte Foundation. Stay Matte, yeah, Mousse Foundation. This is in Classic Beige. It's been a long time since I've used that, so I thought, why not pull it out and give it a shot. And then this is a Project Empties item. It is the Kokie Cushion Concealer in 10C. I also have the e.l.f. HD Concealer. I believe that's what this is, at least. e.l.f., if you watch, put your names on your products, please. So, then I also do have my handy dandy absolute fave, Wet n Wild. Believe it or not, though, I have not been reaching for that a whole lot. But, you know. And then I have the NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer. That's a pretty decent heavy-duty concealer in my book. So, that right there is that thing. Oh, and the L'Oreal Visible Lift CC Eye Concealer. It's the one that has the little roller ball. That really is a good lightweight concealer if you do need a lightweight concealer, but it's also somewhat higher priced in my book. But, okay, this next bin that I'm going to show you is pretty much my highlight and blush, well, my cream highlight more, you know, and my blush area. Now, I'll admit my blushes, they're kind of split, high-end and drugstore both, but that's okay. This right here is the Pretty Vulgar blush in Make Them Blush, Hush Blush, is what it says here. I'll show you what it looks like. Looks like that right there. I'll go ahead and show you inside this thing here. Now, typically I have this also standing up in here, like that. So, that's what's in here right now. And that's what we're going to speed through. Well, not speed, but this is the Forever Nude Sculpt and Glow Palette by BH Cosmetics. I mean, it is in my Project Empties thing. I mean, if you can see that, I mean, it is well loved. And then this here is the, and I got something on it, it looks like. This is the one of the pure Bronze and Brighten palettes. Looks like that right there. And this was another subscription box thing. I mean, look at those colors. You know, I've tried a little bit with this palette, but that's why it's still in here, because I do want to play with it more. Believe it or not, I do like it on the eyes better than on the face. You know, mainly because, now once I get a better tan, maybe it'll look even better, but see how much glow there is to that? But it is beautiful. So, that's that. And then I have in here this Mary Kay blush. It's a lace, yeah, lace coral is what it says here, blush. Now to me this kind of reminds me of Milani Luminoso, honestly. I mean, it doesn't look like it at first glance probably, but you know, it is absolutely beautiful. Actually, it's more glowy than the other. But it really is a real pretty blush on me. So, then I still do have, because this is in the Project Empties thing, this is the e.l.f. Blush and Contour Palette in St. Lucia. Then I do have the Wet n Wild Contour Stick right here. I'm keeping that in there. I don't have a whole lot of cream contour items or cream highlight. Well, actually, I've got more than, you know, I'd like to admit in cream highlights, but I guess, because this right here is a cream highlight. It is the Moonlight Essence Moonlighter Cushion by Clay. I got this in an Allure beauty box recently. Well, a couple months ago, I think. So, but I mean, it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then this here is the Cargo Cosmetics Stick in Champagne. Looks like that right there. I mean, I didn't use this much, so I thought, hey, why not throw it on back in there. See if I can get some use out of it. I mean, if you notice, I do have rather matte foundations, so adding a little bit of glow ain't gonna hurt nothing. And then the other product I have in here, I only have 2 other products in this here. This is the Master Strobing Liquid in medium nude glow. I do have that in here, as well as I also have my, now this is a Makeup Geek blush. It is in XOXO. Makeup Geek. I mean, it is real pretty. It's kind of intimidating. That's why I haven't used it very much. I got it. This was another subscription box thing. This is the only, I think, Makeup Geek product I have, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think. Before I move on to the actual contour and whatnot, this right here is in the very front of the box, or the drawer rather, usually. So it's pretty tight fit, really and truly. So it doesn't come out as easy. It's pretty much my primer and powder thing. So we're gonna speed through this. This is the e.l.f. Mist and Set. Now that really is a decent, it is the original e.l.f. Mist and Set, mind you. And then this here is the Essence All About Matte Fixing Powder. Then I also do have in here the LA Girl Pro Powder. Last month I used the AOA Studio Powder, if you remember that. And then I have the e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder, the original one. The Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. Now I do have in here, I mean this one is practically empty anyway. It is the In Transit Camera Close-Up by This Works. It's a mask, moisturizer, and primer in one. I mean, that was a sample size, so I'm just trying to use that up. It's one of the sample sizes I've got. Then this here is the Pores No More by Dr. Brandt, I think. Yeah, by Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer. And I also have another illuminating primer, and that is by Shop Miss A AOA Studio Perfect Primer. Or Perfect Skin, rather. I mean, I'm trying out both of those, and, you know, going to do a head-to-head eventually, you know, on those possibly. And then this here is the I Love Stage Eye Primer from Essence. Now this right here is a really good setting spray. It is the Makeup Revolution Pro Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray. You know, I don't need oil control as much if I'm using a matte foundation, but I still keep it. And then here is the L'Oreal True Match Powder in W4. And then I also have the e.l.f. Hydrating Under Eye Primer. Just because I do like to have something sometimes to give my eyes that extra little boost of moisture. We shall move on to bronzers and powder highlights more. Now, I don't have a whole lot in this, if you can tell. But, you know, besides, I don't have a whole lot of actual highlight and whatnot yet. You know, I'm trying to slowly build that up a little bit. But I do have the Essence Contour Powder right here. And I also have the Wet n Wild Contouring Palette in Dulce de Leche. Now that really is absolutely gorgeous. Now then, I also have the e.l.f. Light Matte Bronzer right here. The NYC bronzer in Sunny. This is just back whenever I started getting into makeup a few years ago. This was a cult classic back then, and it took me forever to buy it. Just because, even though it was only $3, I just couldn't see doing it, and one day I did, and it's actually a good product. But now they've changed the packaging, I believe, but it's, as far as I know, probably still a good product. But then we're going to get into actual highlight here. Okay, this right here, it was a favorite. It really is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing a head-to-head with this one and a couple others eventually. So that's why I do have this still in here, just because, number one, I do love it. I mean, it was a favorite. So it is the e.l.f. highlighter in White Pearl. I mean, that is absolutely gorgeous. I love it on my skin. You know, I just love it. And then this here is the DLS Dirty Little Secret highlight in Bellissima, Bellissima, I think is what it says. It is a really pretty pink highlight. Real pretty pink highlight. I mean, yeah. That, I've used it multiple times. Just put it right there. You know, just to give a little bit extra pop to my cheeks or whatever. But it is gorgeous. And then what I'm also working with too, you know, because I say if you can get a cheap version of something, go for it. So, you know, I do go on the hunt for dollar items that might compare to higher priced items. And this right here in Cupcake is by AOA Studio. It's one of their Wonder Baked products. It is one of their highlighters. This is in Cupcake. I mean, that right there. It's not as pretty, but, you know, it still is pretty. So, it's not as in your face as the other, but still, it's pretty. And then the other product I have in here is the Becca highlight in Champagne Pop. So, I mean, that's just a real pretty highlight. And it's travel friendly, so it really does go in my bag nicely if I do want to put a highlight in there. So, that right there is pretty much my highlight and contour. But this right here is all I have in here, at least right now. I might add more to this. Actually, I could put the Meet Matte palette in here now. But, this right here is the Koki eyeshadow palette in Bare It All. That's one of the eye palettes I've got in here. I mean, it is such a pretty, neutral, toned palette. That really is a good palette. And then I've got the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Barely Branded. You know, if you need a good sheer base, that is a good base. And then I do have the Wonder Baked Shadow in Mars. Kind of running out of spots to swatch here. Nothing's wanting to show up at this point. Yeah, right there. That's Mars. I don't know if y'all can see that at all. But, yeah. That's Mars. It is a $1 product from shopmissa.com. They do have a lot of baked colors as well. And then I have just a few more items in here. I don't have a whole lot of eye products. You know, like I said, I've got the two palettes, the Pure palette and the Meet Matte palette. And then I do have the Glam and Beauty Nudes palette still. I'm leaving this in there just because I didn't mess with it a whole lot. I did use it to do my eye look today, but, you know, I don't reach for it as much as I should. And then this here is in my Project Empty, so I left it. It's the Revealed palette by Coastal Scents. Looks like this right here. Yeah, that right there. Then the palettes that I really didn't play with a whole lot, you know, I did some, but not a whole lot. That is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte Original palette. I'm just trying to make myself love it, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's too, you know, and they're not as pigmented as I would like either, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm one of the ones that doesn't like the Mad for Matte. Y'all might hate me for that, but that's okay. And then this here is the Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshell palette. You know, this is a beautiful palette. Real, you know, I only played with it a few times though, so I left it in here. And then this here is the, I believe it's the Not a Basic Peach palette from Wet n Wild. Kind of got something on my cover here, but that's what it looks like. It's got a real pretty teal in there, some real pretty goldy rose gold colors, you know, but that's a real pretty palette too. And that's it for actual palettes. This is the other eye thing. It is my pretty much brow liner and mascara bin. Looks like that right there. Now, of course, I have my AOA Studio brow pencil in here for $1. I have the e.l.f. $2 one in here. I mean, what can I say? I love budget-friendly items. Now, I do have some more expensive stuff in here, though, too. This is the Rimmel Scandalize liner, pencil liner. Not the retractable, mind you, but the actual pencil. I do have that in here. Then the CoverGirl Total Tease mascara. I just really didn't mess with that a whole lot, but it is a good natural mascara, and it works for a quick day that I don't want to put a whole lot on. And then this is the Wet n Wild Mega Liner. That's actually, you know, growing on me as far as liking it. Then this right here is the IT Brow Power pencil. Believe it or not, I'm not a huge fan. It's a little too dry. And then this here is the e.l.f. waterproof waterproof liner in black. That's in here because that is a Project Empties as well. And then this here is the Essence Superfine liner. One of my absolute favorite liners. But I've mentioned that before in the past. And then this here is the Peacock Flare Mascara by CoverGirl. I just recently did a review on that. The Essence I Love Extreme Mascara. The Blink Black Lash Primer. I believe that's, yeah, BLINC Black Lash Primer is in here. Whoops. And I just threw something. The Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks Eyebrow Gel. That's in my Project Empties as well. Then I do have the Maybelline Master Precise Skinny pencil, the one in the hot pink tube. Yeah. And the Dolce Max Lash Volumizer Mascara. I mean, and y'all, that is what's in my everyday makeup drawer. Now, I will be pulling it out and, you know, kind of trading out items for this bag right here. Right here. This is a Mary Kay bag that I got. But, you know, I tend to keep what I'm really working on, what I'm really focusing on more, right in here. Just because it's easier. It makes it a lot easier to do a quick makeup look if I want to. So, that right there is my everyday makeup drawer. Now, in the coming months, I do plan on doing another collection video. You know, eventually. I recently did a collection. I believe that might be in the links down below. If it's not, you know, it is here on my channel. But I think it's getting close to one of my more popular videos. But, you know, that's a long video because it was all my makeup in one bam. So, in the coming months, like around my birthday or something like that, in June, I plan on doing another makeup collection series rather than one video. So, but that right there is my actual everyday makeup drawer. So, let me know if there were any products you would like to see reviewed in the comments down below, and I will put that on my list to do. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video. My top 5 videos linked below are New Maybelline City Mini Palette Review and Demo, What's in My Purse, Garnier Argan Oil and Cranberry Extract Review, Get Ready With Me Easy Natural Drugstore First Video, Styling My Short Bob.